Hello everybody, Vagbond here, and before I get into today's topic, the gameplay you're seeing is The Last of Us Remastered. I will be doing a review of this game next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. The topic of today's commentary will be me listing the my top 5 most anticipated games of the third quarter of 2014. For those who don't know, third quarter refers to the period between September to December, where which has the highest concentration of AAA titles being released. In no particular order, kicking off this list is Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. This is going to be out on the 2nd of October. This is an open world game set in Tolkien's world of Middle-earth. I'm really excited about that because for years I've been looking for this kind of game, an open world Tolkien game. I actually said a while back I like one made by Ubisoft in that kind of style, and it's not made by Ubisoft, but that literally looks very Assassin's Creed type animations. It's set obviously totally in Mordor. In the time period, if you think between the Hobbit films and the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, in that time period, and this has to deal with the Ranger Talion. He was, I think, from what I can gather, he was killed and he was brought back to life and he's given wraith powers. And his objective in this game is that he has to slow down the advance of Sauron as he reclaims his power in Mordor. This game looks really cool. The thing I'm most excited about this is the Nemesis system. Basically, any enemy you fight in the game that you say you don't kill, later on in the game, he could be like a higher powered boss, and your interaction with these enemies would be different every time. For example, if you manage to burn this enemy and he got away, he will comment upon this next time you encounter him, and he'll bear a grudge against you for that. I'm very excited about this. This looks very cool. Next up on my list, we have Destiny, the $500 million budget sci-fi FPS giant that will be coming out on the 9th of September. This game made by Bungie, the original creators of Halo. It looks like a cross between Call of Duty and Halo. In terms of gameplay, it has a single player with a story mode. As far as I understand, it's not a really well defined story mode, but there's an overall objective to the game, but you're kind of left to fill in the gaps by yourself, like by reading in between the lines and etc. The online, before I get into the normal online, there's like an always on community feature when you're playing single player, so like you can jump into your friend's game and vice versa. And there's also these massive public events when you're playing, where like up to a load of different people, even if you're not on your friends list, will like come together and to do an event such as kill a giant boss or something like that. The game will also feature the traditional 6v6 game mode. I'm sure it'll have different game modes of that, like versus mode. All in all, this game looks like it's going to have a lot of content for the money you pay for it, so that's a good enough reason for me to be excited about it. The third game I want to talk about is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is coming out on the 4th of November. I know people will probably hate with this, oh, Call of Duty the same every year, derpy derp, that kind of thing, but this actually looks like it's actually going to be different this year. Like, they've completely revamped the movement mechanics. Like, you can double jump to crazy heights, and you can kind of boost left and right, and even when you're in the air. This is like a whole new set of skills that will separate the good players from the bad players more than recent Call of Duties, I believe. I've heard a lot of people say that it's just copying Titanfall that came out earlier this year, but when you look at it's only what, 9 months separating the time between Titanfall release and Advanced Warfare. These games were in development simultaneously, so unfortunate for Advanced Warfare, it came out later. The maps, they look like the old tried and tested 3 lanes of traffic type thing, but with a twist, as I would call it, because it has more vertical elements to account for the new modes of transport. It looks fast paced, a nice breath of fresh air after dreary old Ghosts. You already know my opinion on that. And the single player has Kevin Spacey in it. What more do you want? The penultimate game on my list is Borderlands Pre Sequel, coming out on the 14th of October. This game is set in between the events of Borderlands 1 and 2, hence the name Pre Sequel, and it follows the story of how Handsome Jack, the villain of Borderlands 2, rose to power. It takes place, a lot of it, as I understand, a lot of this takes place in the moon of Pandora, the world of Borderlands 1 and 2, which leads to a lot of like low gravity, huge jumps, and other things low gravity affecting the gameplay, which lead this spice up the already fun gameplay of Borderlands, which is reason enough for me to look forward to the game. Borderlands is it's kind of hard to explain if you haven't played it, so my best advice is play it if you haven't already. Go with Borderlands 2, it's way better. But yeah, Borderlands the pre-sequel, definitely looking forward to that game. And finally we have Assassin's Creed Unity. Unity is going to be set in a 1-to-1 scale of Paris during the French Revolution, and you play as this guy called Arno, who I believe he's a nobleman fighting for the cause of the common people. This looks like a return to the roots of Assassin's Creed for me. Like recently in Assassin's Creed 3 and especially Black Flag, which was more of a pirate game with assassin features, Unity looks like a true Assassin's game. Like it's set in a properly interesting, intriguing time of history. You know, just set a good setting for the assassin angle on it. It's set in totally urban environment, which is where Assassin's Creed cut its teeth. You know, with Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. I believe they're making the combat more challenging than previous games. Like if you run into like 3+ guards, you have to be careful on your way to take them down. Not like Black Flag where you can take down a ship of enemies by yourself, unarmed basically. They've improved the parkour mechanics so you can parkour down. Like in previous Assassin's Creed, you know, you try to go down, you either jump off and half kill yourself, or you kind of awkwardly fall down when grabbing as you go down. But this game you can kind of parkour down, which looks pretty cool, and it has online or local area network co-op where you can I think you can jump into your friend's game and you can both like tackle the same thing yourself, which is pretty cool because up to now the regular multiplayer of Assassin's Creed hasn't been very appealing to me. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to feature any split screen, but what they have done is cool. Well, that's my list of games I'm looking forward to this year. Let me know of your own thoughts of games you're looking forward to in the third quarter of 2014. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a rating, much appreciated. Share, favourite, subscribe, all the usual stuff I say. Vagabond out.
Anything at all happens to him, it's on you.
She's thankful, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I'll take that girl of yours to the Fireflies. You don't have to worry about it.
It's best this way.
Well, maybe some real good will come of this.
I need to talk to Ellie.
Say again, I didn't hear you. Joe!
Wait, what is it?
That girl of yours. She took one of our horses and rode off.
Damn it. Which way?
Come on. I just saw her riding on out of here. Go back inside.